a love so profound, so divine, that it seems like heaven itself is reaching out. Let me tell you something shocking right now. At this very moment, the Holy Spirit is closer to you than you can imagine. He sees you, He knows you, and He smiles upon you. But how do you know if He has truly entered your body, your life, your very being? There are signs hidden, profound and life-changing that reveal His work. These aren't just feelings or coincidences, they are the fingerprints of the divine reshaping your soul. Today I will uncover 4 secret signs that the Holy Spirit is within you, transforming you inside and out in ways you might never have realized. Before we begin, I ask you to subscribe and share this message with someone who needs it. What we're about to uncover could change their life forever, perhaps yours too. My friends, the first sign is something almost magical. It's a sacred awareness that pierces through your heart like a beam of light. You suddenly start seeing your own life, your own actions, through the eyes of God. The things you once overlooked, the thoughts you justified, now feel exposed. It's as if the Holy Spirit is gently saying, "Child, this is not who you are meant to be." In Psalm 139, 23-24, David prayed, "Search me, God, and know my heart, test me, and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." When the Spirit enters you, He does just that. He searches, He reveals, He convicts not to condemn you, but to awaken you. Have you felt it? That holy discomfort that draws you closer to the light? That's not guilt, it's His love calling you higher. Now, my dear friends, the second sign is one that will leave you in awe. Your very desires begin to change. It's unexplainable, supernatural. The things you once chased after, money, recognition, temporary pleasures, they start to feel ... empty. And in their place, a deep hunger for things eternal. You begin to crave peace, purpose, and a connection with God. In Ezekiel 36:26, God promises, "I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh." That transformation is happening within you. It's not you forcing yourself to change, it's the Spirit whispering to your soul, gently reshaping your very essence. Have you noticed it? A longing to serve, to love, to live in truth. That's Him, my friends. That's the Holy Spirit molding you into who you were created to be. And now I must share something truly astonishing. When the Spirit is within you, the impossible starts to happen. Relationships you thought were beyond repair begin to heal. Strength you never thought you had rises in your darkest moments. Peace unshakable, indescribable peace floods your heart even in the middle of life's storms. Jesus Himself said in John 14:27, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." Have you ever faced a trial that should have crushed you, but somehow you found the strength to endure? That's not just resilience, it's the Spirit within you, guiding you, holding you, lifting you up when you can't stand on your own. The world may not understand it, but you feel it, don't you? That unexplainable calm, that assurance that you're not walking alone. That's Him. He's with you. Finally, my friends, here is the most wondrous sign of all. The Spirit doesn't just transform you, He begins to transform those around you. Without even realizing it, your presence changes the atmosphere. People are drawn to you, not because of who you are, but because of who is within you. They see a light, a joy, a peace that is not of this world. You become a vessel, a reflection of God's glory. In Matthew 5:14, Jesus said, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. That light is the Holy Spirit shining through you, reaching those in darkness, offering hope to the weary." Have you noticed it? How others are drawn to your kindness, your peace. That's not your doing, it's the Spirit using you as His instrument. These signs are not random, they are divine. They are the Holy Spirit working within you, shaping you, guiding you, preparing you for a life of purpose. He sees you, He knows you, and He smiles upon you, delighting in the masterpiece He is creating. Imagine this: the Holy Spirit steps into the quiet corners of your soul, and suddenly the light of heaven begins to shine in places you didn't even know were dark. It's not just a casual awareness, it's like being seen with divine eyes that pierce straight into your heart. Every hidden thought, every whispered excuse, every choice you thought no one noticed is brought into view. But this isn't a light of condemnation, it's a light of love, the kind that awakens you, shakes you, and leaves you utterly transformed. David understood this when he cried out in Psalm 139, 23-24, "Search me, God, and know my heart, test me, and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." These words weren't born out of fear, but out of surrender, a surrender to the Holy Spirit's work of uncovering what we often hide even from ourselves. When the Holy Spirit enters you, it's as if He whispers, "I see you, child, every part of you. I see the good, the broken, the parts you've tried to bury. But I'm not here to judge, I'm here to redeem." That holy conviction doesn't feel like guilt. Guilt pushes you into shame, but conviction lifts you toward hope. It's that unmistakable voice saying, "This is not who you were made to be. I have something better for you." Have you ever been in the middle of a decision and suddenly felt your spirit pause? That's not your conscience. That's the Holy Spirit gently stopping you, redirecting you, calling you to choose the higher path. And yet, His presence is not harsh or condemning. It's tender, like the embrace of a parent guiding a child away from danger. Think about it: why would God, the Creator of the universe, take such care to search your heart? Because He sees who you're meant to be. He sees the beauty, the power, the purpose He placed within you. And when He illuminates those flaws, He's not just pointing them out, He's offering to heal them. When you feel that conviction, don't turn away. That's the Spirit of the living God working in you, shaping you into the person you were created to be. It's shocking, it's humbling, and it's utterly holy. And in that moment, heaven smiles, for you are stepping into the light of transformation. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the things that once thrilled you now feel utterly empty. The pursuits that consumed your energy, the fleeting pleasures you thought defined happiness, suddenly lose their grip on your heart. It feels shocking, even unsettling at first, as though someone has quietly rearranged the furniture of your soul. That someone is the Holy Spirit, and He's not just tweaking the surface, He's transforming you from the inside out. In Ezekiel 36:26, God declares, "I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh." This is not a metaphor, it's a promise, a divine operation where the Holy Spirit steps in and begins to rewire your desires. He takes the heart that was hardened by sin, dulled by the noise of the world, and breathes life into it, making it tender and responsive to God. You might not even notice the shift at first. One day you're chasing after recognition, money or power, and then, almost inexplicably, you find yourself longing for something deeper, something eternal. The allure of material success fades, and in its place comes a hunger for peace, for truth, for a purpose that outlasts the grave. This is not your doing, this is the Spirit at work, whispering to your soul, there is more, come closer. It's as though the Spirit lifts a veil you didn't even know was there. What once seemed satisfying is revealed as hollow. The parties, the promotions, the praise, they no longer fill you. Instead, your spirit begins to crave the eternal. You start to desire time in prayer, not out of obligation, but because you yearn to hear God's voice. You find joy in serving others, not for recognition, but because it brings you closer to His heart. This transformation is nothing short of miraculous. The world will not understand it. They may question why your priorities have changed, why you no longer chase the same things they do. But you will know. The Spirit is at work within you, aligning your desires with the heartbeat of heaven. And in that alignment you discover the truest version of yourself, the one God intended all along. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm, winds raging, waves crashing, chaos all around you. By every measure you should be terrified, overwhelmed, ready to collapse. But instead, there's something unexplainable within you, peace. Not the fragile kind that depends on calm circumstances, but a deep, unshakable peace, like a still lake hidden within your soul. That peace is the work of the Holy Spirit, anchoring you in the presence of God. Jesus Himself promised this gift in John 14:27 when He said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." Notice His words, the peace He gives is unlike anything the world can offer. The world's peace vanishes the moment life gets hard, but His peace endures, no matter how fierce the storm becomes. When the Holy Spirit enters your life, He doesn't shield you from trials. Instead, He walks with you through them. And in that journey, He gives you supernatural strength you didn't know you had. Strength that makes no sense to anyone watching. Have you ever faced a moment that should have broken you, and yet you found yourself standing, even thriving? That wasn't your willpower, that was Him. Think about Paul and Silas, beaten and imprisoned, their feet shackled in a dark, cold dungeon. By all logic, they should have been defeated, yet they sang hymns and prayed. Their peace, their joy, didn't come from their circumstances, it came from the Spirit within them. When the Holy Spirit fills you, He gives you the same power to rise above your circumstances. This strength and peace are not just for grand, heroic moments. They appear in the everyday trials too, the long days at work, the sleepless nights worrying for a loved one, the heartbreaks that threaten to consume you. The Spirit whispers, "You are not alone. I am here." And as you lean into Him, you'll feel His sustaining power. The storm may not disappear, but you'll walk through it untouched by fear, carried by a peace that leaves the world in awe. This is the Spirit's promise to be your strength, your calm, your anchor, no matter what comes your way. Imagine the weight of a broken relationship, the pain, the bitterness, the scars that feel too deep to heal. Now picture this without warning, something shifts. The anger that once burned inside you begins to soften. The hurt you clung to starts to loosen its grip, and in its place there's a stirring, a call to forgive, to love, to rebuild. That stirring is not of this world. It is the Holy Spirit working within you, bringing restoration to what seemed beyond repair. The Spirit's presence in your life is unmistakable, especially in the way you respond to conflict and brokenness. On your own, forgiveness might seem impossible. How can you forgive someone who hurt you so deeply? How can you rebuild trust after betrayal? But the Spirit whispers, let Maine take this burden. Let Maine heal what you cannot. In Colossians 3:13, we are reminded, bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. This kind of forgiveness doesn't come from human effort. It is a supernatural act of grace that flows through you when the Spirit is present. Have you ever surprised yourself by letting go of a resentment you thought would last forever? That wasn't you, that was Him working through your heart, teaching you how to love like Jesus. The Holy Spirit doesn't just stop at your heart, He moves outward, transforming the relationships around you. Where there was once division, He sows peace. Where there was hostility, He plants understanding. And where there was silence, He brings reconciliation. Have you noticed how people begin to respond to you differently when you allow the Spirit to guide your actions? Your words carry a gentleness that diffuses anger, your patience calms tension, and your love breaks down walls. But even more miraculous is the healing He brings to your own heart. The wounds you thought would define you, the pain you thought you'd carry forever, He takes them. He doesn't erase your scars, but He turns them into something beautiful, a testimony of His power to redeem and restore. The Spirit's presence doesn't just repair relationships, it transforms them into something holy. He makes you a vessel of God's love, using your life to demonstrate His grace. And as you watch fractured bonds mend and hearts heal, you'll know this is not human effort. This is the miraculous, undeniable work of the Holy Spirit. Imagine a single candle in a pitch-black room. Its flame doesn't shout or demand attention, yet it pierces the darkness, offering warmth and guidance. When the Holy Spirit fills you, that candle becomes your life. Without realizing it, you radiate something the world desperately needs: hope, peace, and love. You don't have to force it, it's the Spirit within you, shining through every word, every action, every moment of kindness. Jesus said in Matthew 5:14, "You are the light of the world." A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. That light isn't your own, it's the Spirit of God flowing through you. The more you lean into Him, the brighter you shine. And here's the miraculous part people notice. Without a word, they sense something different about you. It may start with something small. A co-worker asks how you stay so calm during stressful times. A stranger feels comforted by your smile. A friend confides in you because they see your unwavering peace. They're not drawn to you, they're drawn to the Spirit within you. And in a world filled with confusion and despair, that light becomes a beacon for those searching for meaning, for truth, for God. But being a light isn't always easy. The darkness doesn't like to be exposed. You may face resistance, criticism, or even rejection. Yet the Spirit strengthens you, reminding you that this light is not for your glory, but for His. The world's struggles won't dim it, in fact, they make it shine brighter. As Paul wrote in 2 Corinthians 4:6, for God, who said, "Let light shine out of darkness," made His light shine in our hearts to give us the light of the knowledge of God's glory displayed in the face of Christ. Over time, your light doesn't just comfort, it transforms. Those around you begin to reflect it, just as the moon reflects the sun. The Spirit uses your life to ignite others, spreading His love in a ripple effect you might never fully see. You become a living testimony of His power, a walking invitation to experience His grace. This is the beauty of the Spirit's work. He doesn't just change you, He changes the world through you. And as you let Him shine, heaven rejoices, for in your light others will find their way home.